Scotland, over in the UK, decriminalizing a whole lot of drugs. Let's get into it. The number of people who died due to drug misuse in Scotland last year fell by 279 to the lowest level for 5 years. However, Scotland continues to have the worst drug death rate in the UK and the rest of Europe, with narcotics claiming about 90 lives on average every month. The Scottish government is proposing to decriminalize the possession of drugs for personal use to help and support people rather than criminalize and stigmatize them. But the UK government, which controls drug policy, has rejected the plan as dangerous and says it has no intention of giving the Scottish Parliament the power to enact a new policy. Scotland's death rate from drug overdose is 3 times the rate in the UK as a whole and the highest in Western Europe. Last year, there were almost 1,100 drug-related deaths in Scotland, which has a population of 5.5 million according to the government figures. The war on drugs has failed. Scottish Drugs Minister Eleanor Whipham said at a news conference alongside former New Zealand Prime Minister Helen Clark and ex-Swiss President Ruth de Vries, both advocates of drug law reform. Our current drug law does not stop people from using drugs. It does not stop people from experiencing the harm associated, and critically, it does not stop people from dying, Whipham said. The Scottish government said decriminalization would free individuals from the fear of accessing treatment and support, reducing drug-related harms, and ultimately improving lives. It cited the example of Portugal, which ditched criminal penalties for drug possession more than 2 decades ago and focused on treatment. Whipham said the government also wanted to change the law so it could create supervised drug consumption rooms and would consider introducing the regulated supply of drugs. She said the crisis would worsen without radical change. She said Scotland was facing down the barrel of a storm in terms of synthetic opioids and new and novel street benzos that are heading to our shores. If we are not prepared for the arriving here with 21st century drug laws in place, I'm terrified as to what that could look like. But Russell Findlay, Justice spokesman for the Scottish Conservative Party, said, essentially legalizing heroin, crack, and other Class A drugs will not solve Scotland's drug death problem. Scotland already allows people caught with illegal drugs to be given a police warning rather than being prosecuted. But decriminalizing drugs would require support from the UK government. There are no plans to alter our tough stance on drugs, he said. The Scottish government has often taken more liberal positions on social issues than the Conservative administration in London. Last year, a law passed by the Scottish Parliament that would make it easier for people to officially change gender was blocked by Sunak's government. The governing SNP uses such disagreements to bolster its argument that Scotland would be better off leaving the United Kingdom and becoming an independent country. What do you guys think? Drop your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Scotland, and there's states over in America that have done stuff like this, decriminalize drugs. They have buildings that you could go to and I believe get drugs, or at least get like stuff to use drugs. They say it helps regulate. There's parks that people could go to do their drugs, and it's like a drug park. It's crazy when you look into it and research this stuff. What do you guys think? You think yay or nay, good or bad, positive or negative? Drop your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Let me know. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys. Much love, peace, blessings, much gratitude.